you went on to, let's talk a bit about actually my favorite shipwreck that I'm enamored with because I've never dove it. The Atlantic. How did you end up finding the steamship Atlantic?
Well, it of course is a rediscovery, right? The Atlantic was lost in 1852, and shortly after it was found or lost, it was relocated because, unlike a lot of shipwrecks in the Great Lakes, it had a lot of monetary value. So, and especially the American Express Company wanted their money back. They had a shipment on board the Atlantic that contained gold and bonds and all kinds of things that were the kind of currency you used back in 1952. And the American Express people wanted that back. They contracted a diver, and it was relocated shortly after it sank in 52. The gold was recovered in 1855, and then we relocated it in 1984. Yeah, and the public didn't know that we collectively had rediscovered the Atlantic unless you work inside the Ontario government or the federal government, and both those branches received letters, registered letters, and personal contact that the Atlantic had been found, asking their instruction on how to go forward.
Now, when you did that, that caused a whole uproar because I remember this company from the States coming up and arresting the wreck and doing all this stuff.
It's a crazy world.
So who actually did you end up actually owning the wreck, or is it still owned by the Canadian government?
Well, we all went to court, the treasure hunters from California, myself, and the Ontario government, because the Atlantic is resting on the bottom of Lake Erie on the Ontario side. Um, they, of course, had an important ownership consideration. So, in the end, after the long drawn out lawsuit, it was decided that the Ontario government owns the Atlantic because it was, in fact, abandoned by its original owners. And because it is on their land, they own property that is abandoned.